Konbanwa minasan, Phantom desu. Good evening, everybody. It's Phantom. And if this looks a little familiar, it's because I forgot to save after we ended the stream last time. So we are a little bit behind where we ended stream last time, and I'm still looking for the last hard drive in the radar tower up here. I don't know if I found it last time. It's been 2 weeks. Fox does not remember 2 weeks back. So, yeah. But, we are back, me and Ferrin. And we're going to...
Yes, hello, this is Waffle.
We're going to continue building the base. I will probably just give up on this and head back. Probably via respawn, because it's faster.
Yeah, since you keep your items on death.
Yes. Very convenient thing about that setting. Well, in addition to getting the chair potentially replaced, I'm going to also have to get the keyboard replaced because my C key is starting to stick.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And C being used to crouch in a lot of games is that's yeah, like
Kind of important.
yeah. I don't remember where the hard drive was last time. I found the last one here. So I'm just gonna respawn. But I can't find the. There's no respawn button.
Oh dear. It's normally in the menu.
Oh, there we are. Okay. Okay. So, with that, now my question is, with my hard drive library here, we have a couple left. There's one left in here. And I've got 4 more, so I'm gonna pop them in one at a time. 6 inventory slots or alternate tempered Caterium ingot. You already have the sulfuric acid ingot recipe thing, which is better. So, rescan. And we get Caterium wire and alternate radio connection unit. Which is an alternate to the radio control system.
That doesn't require crystal resonators.
It does not. Instead, it requires some some quartz crystals. 12 of them. And high-speed connectors, and 4 heat sinks.
Heat sinks aren't terrible, that's just aluminum and copper.
You got a point. It's the cooling systems that suck.
Yeah.
So perhaps the alternate radio connection unit, it's slower, but it doesn't require the resonators. So I can just feed raw quartz into this.
That's good as a potential.
Yeah.
Also, the Caterium wire is useful for small-scale production. Like, if we need a lot of wire for a single project, it's 120 per minute.
Yeah, and it's 1 per.
Yep.
Also, the artifact thing happening on the edge of the boxes. It's happening to me too. You can see it on the Caterium ingot and the Caterium wire recipe.
Yep.
It's occasionally bugging out. That just seems to be a Satisfactory thing.
I have been told it's not exclusive to Satisfactory. I have been told it is a DirectX 12 or 11 issue.
Ouch. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Something to think about with the this alternate radio recipe is that makes 1. The radio control system recipe makes 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it is actually, to make the same amount of radios, it is 12 heatsinks and 36 crystals and 6 of these high-speed connectors, which require a lot of quick wire and a lot of cable, but only 1 chip, whereas this requires 10 chips for 3. This would essentially require 6 chips for 3, but a lot more quick wire. The other thing is that this, instead of being a 4-part, is a 3-part. I don't know if that helps. This helps with spaghetti. So
This is what I was in the middle of doing over here.
Ah, yes. This very satisfactory factory.
Mm-hmm. So I need to finish doing the belt things.
Yes, we do. Alright. So, since it's been a while, I'm going to go check and see exactly where I left off with all the ingot stuff. That C key is just really annoying me. So sticky every time I crouch to do a little slide. Okay, and that brings the bauxite in. We did finish this. Okay. The blender doing that, aluminum scrap coming out. I don't have the aluminum scrap going into anything to make aluminum yet. That's where I was left off on that one. This is making iron. That's making sulfuric acid. And this is making copper. Okay. So I think I know where I stand with that stuff. So it's just steel and aluminum that I have to finish reworking. Well, and Deuterium. Technically I have to rework Deuterium as well. And then I'll have all of the base ingots done. Alright. So what was the... Oh, it really has been so long. I don't remember what the hotkey is for searching for something.
Oh.
Oh. Alright. Scrap can be used in just the aluminum ingot recipe. I was gonna work on distilled silica.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to pull over the quartz to here. There's the quartz currently going. We have all those. Picking it up and bringing it over. On that rail line. Is it this train? It can't be this train, it's too short. It's the train underneath the mega base, right? I remember painstakingly building that train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is where I'm bringing in the reanimated Sam and the raw quartz. Perfect. So I'm gonna need a... the floor hole. Where is that up top? Oh, it's right in the middle of the bus. That's not good. I mean...
Damn, research complete.
It's not good for it to be right in the middle of the bus unless I actually want the quartz crystal to go on the bus. What do you think?
No. We're gonna want the two main outputs of the crystal on the bus, not the crystal itself.
Yeah,
So, raw quartz, we're gonna process it, and the quartz crystal and silica are what we're gonna put on the bus.
yeah. Okay. So, probably because this area is a little crowded over here, I'm gonna want to move this down a ways. The floor hole should be about here. Let's see where that turns out to be on the underneath side. In the void. That's fine, because I can fly. Switch. I think we're gonna need like a Mark III belt. Conveyor merger there. Oh, we have Mark V belts now? Wow.
Yep.
Don't worry, someone else will get it. It's not for my human anyway. I'm just upgrading all those to Mark V conveyors and lifts and stuff just because I don't want to have to deal with the slowness. Alright, so we've got the quartz crystals here. Quartz crystals into quartz purification. This is done in a refinery, and it requires requires nitric acid.
Yep.
Which we need particle enrichment for, right?
If I'm remembering correctly, I don't know. I'm here at the thingy, so I can take a look. I do not remember.
I think that was what I set up last time. Right over here. Yes. Now I remember.
Yep, we need particle enrichment.
I set up the machines over here. Sorry to cut you off. I set up the machines over here to produce the things that we needed for that thing. I've got fused modular frames here. I've got clone systems. And I think we already have enough of the turbo engines somewhere in our storage. If not, I'll make some. Not a big deal. We are going to get that right to the heck now. Okay, I still need a couple of turbo engines. How do I make those? I can't? Or is that not what it's asking for? Turbo motor. Wait. Turbo motor is keeping me by hand.
Nope, it cannot.
Grumble, grumble. Wait, I can't even make turbo motors. There's no recipe for it. What? Then why do we almost have enough to go through with it? Because we've just been finding them?
Yep.
Okay, so what actually gives us the turbo engine? Leading edge production.
Yep.
And for that we need supercomputers. 100 of them.
And how do we make supercomputers?
I don't like the sound of that chuckle. Oh dear. Yeah, this is one of those things that we went through the recipes and went, oh, this is going to make it much cheaper. And, I don't know if we still have that recipe now. Because Foxy didn't save. Nope, we do. OC supercomputer. 2 cooling systems, and 2 radio control units for 1 supercomputer at a rate of 3 per minute is the alternate recipe I've got. Okay. We also have selectable heavy flexible frame or charcoal. I think we should just rescan. Coated cable and turbo blend fuel. That might be interesting. So, it's an alternative to turbo fuel. It requires 2 regular fuel and 4 heavy oil residue. 3 sulfur and 3 regular coal? No, petroleum coke.
Yeah. That's not a particularly amazing recipe.
Yeah, but look at the production rate on it. It's 50% faster than the fastest one.
Yeah.
It produces really fast.
But it uses more, I think, resources overall.
Yeah, you got a point. You know, free lunch. Okay, well, I have 2 options with this. I can either try to make 100 supercomputers, which I can make in the crafting bench if I had enough materials, but I need all those materials. Or I can go searching for more turbo motors at the crash sites of freighters.
To do that, we only need 5.
Yeah, we only need 5. If I can find 5 turbo motors to line around somewhere, we can get that nitric acid recipe now. I think I'm gonna go for that option. The question is, where do I explore to? There's nothing south of us, because we're at the southern edge of the map. I'd have to go all the way out again. Or I could bring the power lines north of the oil. And because there are 2 hard drives there, one 400 megawatts and one 200 megawatts required. If I just link them up to the main system, then they're an easy fix. I also needed explosives for some of the solar sloops there, which, I mean, I got explosives now. I got plenty of nobelisks, so I have 31. I can have more. If I really start demolitioning, I'm gonna need more. But, to that end, I think I'm going to sit here and create some more nobelisks while my human goes to the bathroom. So, I will be right back. And I'm back. And I've got a lot of explosives. And the hard drive's almost done, so I'll just wait for it. How are you doing with what you're doing?
Doing alright so far. Moving the fuel reserves down to the lower platform to get those generators started.
Biocoal.
and working on setting up compacted, or no, not compacted,
Okay.
turbo fuel production.
We have a new concrete recipe.
Finally. Oh, that's fine concrete.
Is that bad?
No, but it requires silica.
Yeah, I'm just about to produce a whole lot of silica.
Yep.
How much more efficient is this then? A lot.
It's a lot more efficient than the base recipe.
12 for
but
10
it's not
instead of 3 for
wet
1.
concrete.
No, it's not wet concrete, but it's probably worth taking.
Yeah.
If we don't get wet concrete in this session, then because I'm gonna need that, I'm gonna need the concrete and limestone setup very soon. We may just have to go with that instead. Pet, 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 pet. I flew up right into it, basically.
Nice.
Okay.
It's not even there on my screen. Interesting.
Wait, don't leave the station without me. Ah.
Oh.
Phew. Okay. Got in. I don't even know which train this is. I think this is the right one. You know what's really odd? I can't see where I am on the map.
It is 96, so 960 oil per minute. Ooh, that's a lot. But it's not our maximum.
Okay. So, interesting to note, while I'm in a train, it doesn't show me on the minimap. What's down there? Huh. Pure coal. Nice. Okay. We're trying to push north from there. So actually, I'm gonna go over here. There's no turbo motors here, but there are regular motors. Okay. We've already gotten the hard drive from this one. Alright, so I'm going to be taking that. Heavy power line over this way.
Mm.
And I think this is where we should. Ah, I see. This is the first of those spots that I need to drag power to. Or not. No, I've already gotten this one. Okay, no, this is for nothing. Yeah, it's halfway down the power line that I need to stop. Right about... Ah, right here with the radioactive kitties. Okay. I actually do want the heavy duty power line. So it'll go straight there. Operational. Open door. Got the hard drive.
Nice.
Now let's see. We've got computers. We've got silica. We've got high-speed connectors. Any other parts? Wish I could highlight parts and have them show up. Blizzard spoiled us by having those, like, beams of light coming up off of objects in Diablo and such.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody wants it and expects it, when it's not there to complain. It's like, well, how can I be sure I'm not going to miss any loot? Use your eyes. Oh, that's the part that's going to suck about this area. Kitties everywhere. And by that I mean spiders in disguise.
Yep.
Ah, the next hard drive is ready. If you'd like to do the honors.
I will come over and take care of that in a minute.
Trying to pulse jump all the way up here.
Oh, excuse me. Where are the extra hard drives? Scan a fresh one. Or are we all done? Oh, there are 4 in my inventory.
There's also 2 more in the Dimensional Depot now.
Okay. Okay, we've got recycled plastic or pure iron ingot.
Ugh. Either
Pure
one.
iron ingot is actually pretty useful.
That's the one that uses water, right?
Mm-hmm. 4 water and 7 iron ore to make 13 iron ingots. So it's not quite as efficient on iron or as fast as using the leached, but without making sulfuric acid, it's much easier to access. But since we're making sulfuric acid and we've already set up for leached, what we've got is better.
Yeah.
Rescan?
Yeah, rescan.
Wait. Crystal computer and steel cast plate. Ooh.
Crystal computer?
Crystal computer is faster than the base recipe, but slower than the alternate by a little. Uses fewer circuit boards and a crystal oscillator to make 2 computers. So it's almost twice as efficient on circuit boards, but it uses a crystal oscillator.
Yeah, crystal oscillators are... They're not bad to get, they're just... annoying.
Yeah. I might save the steel cast plate. Maybe get that one later.
Okay.
Scanning the next drive.
Ah. I see. There we go. Those kitties seemed agitated.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. A little concerned that I hit one of them with the blast, so I backed off for a bit. And now I'm going in for the hard drive. More importantly, the loot. It requires 25 turbo motors. This hard drive requires 25 turbo motors, which I cannot make yet.
He's trolling you. Oof. And there it goes. That is going to be a huge drain on our power supply.
Oh dear. What did you do?
I'm feeding oil into the refineries.
High-speed connector. They has black cat, okay. I didn't see any turbo motors flying around here, so I'm get out of the spider-infested swamp. Where is it under production? I'm having a hard time finding the radio tower again. Can you remember what it's under? Organization? Yes. Radar tower. Okay. Oddly, it's got this really weird blind spot, the radar tower. But it's sensing 11 more hard drives in this area, which is good. So... yeah, and then there's the summer sloop that needs the explosive that's inside that waterfall. I remember this place. I can almost pinpoint from here where this summer sloop is. Yeah. Just underneath the rock. Okay. We're looking for 400 megawatts. Going to down there. Ow. Must be a connector here. Oh, there might be some parts down on down the mountain. Or just more wreckage. Yeah, it's just more wreckage. Damn it. Alright, where is the summer sloop? There it is. There we go. Finally, I've got you, my pretty. Hee 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 hee. Did that ding come through?
Yes.
Okay. Need to turn on Do Not Disturb on the phone. Okay. So I've got that hard drive. Delete that marker. Got that summer sloop. So the big question is, where are all the other hard drives that I sensed earlier at the radar tower? Because each one of them has a chance to give me the turbo motors that I need. And the recipe that we desperately want. There's one over here. Ah, there's one of those big angry radiator boys. It needs 17 heat sinks for this. Okay, well, I will mark this down on the map. There's that one. And let's move on. What's our next hard drive got? No. I got no space.
No.
Wait a second. Is the hard drive around the tree? No, it's in the tree.
Silly tree.
And it requires 5 turbo motors instead of giving me 5 turbo motors. At least it's not 25.
Yeah.
Sequence breaking is never easy. So saith every speedrunner. Free hard drive. It's operational.
Nice.
Package turbo fuel. Module heavy frame. Silica. Computer. I don't see any turbo. It's turbo motors. Okay. Aha. Heavy modular frame, hook wire, silica. Silica. Drop pod requires 25 heat sinks. Marked on the map. Wow, seems like this stuff is toxic even to them. Uh-oh. I missed. There we go. I'm just triple checking and I don't see any motors. Well, I have to keep going. Well, I've reached the desert. It is a satisfactory desert. It meets all the requirements.
Alright, so I need to increase the amount of throughput on the compacted coal so that we've got at least 480, because that's how much the new fuel processing is taking.
Oh.
But
Just got an achievement.
we now have a capacity of 8750 megawatts, 8.75 gigawatts.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive. That's a good jump. It's still not as much as our possible max consumption.
It's true, but
it's
it's
better.
not 1.25 gigawatts. 1.21.
Nope.
21.
1.21 gigawatts.
Gigawatts.
Gigawatts. Because I'm chuckling about it. No regrets.
Alright. Keep up with the hard drives.
Okay, one sec. I'm picking up the old fuel production.
I see. Okay, so I think I got the achievement for visiting each of the starting biomes once.
Oh, nice.
So that means since this is a starting biome, it's not going to be giving me the things I need. Probably. This looks a bit promising. Electromagnetic control rods, quick wire, crystal oscillators. No, that's like 5 pickups and there's no turbo motors. Damn. 85 megawatts required. Good thing I just set up a power tower. The question is, how do I link it up to the grid?
Okay, hard drive time.
This power tower, I put it right on top of another crush freighter.
Completed. Recycled plastic or iron alloy ingot. Iron alloy is slightly useful. It is 8 iron ore and 2 copper ore to make 15 iron ingots. At 75 per minute. But it is not as good as the leached iron ingot that we've got now.
Yeah.
And the other is recycled plastic, which we keep skipping up anyway.
Yeah.
Rescan?
Mm-hmm.
Heavy encased frame and bolted frame.
Turbo motors.
Bolted frame.
7 turbo motors.
Nice. Merbo toters.
Finally.
Bolted frame produces at is modular frames produces at 5 per minute compared to our current 2 per minute using screws and reinforced plates rather than reinforced plates and iron rods. And screws can be made with steel, so that's actually a much cheaper, faster recipe. And the heavy encased frame is for heavy modular frames, which produces almost 50% faster, but uses, let's see, 8 to 3 versus 5 to 1. So that would be 15 normally. It's actually more efficient. By a lot. Using concrete instead of screws. Okay, so when we come to it, we're definitely going to want both of those, but we'll have to choose one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, hard drive. Skin.
You know why I think we got a recipe that we already that was already available? I didn't think of something. I usually start scanning the next hard drive right away, but then we don't necessarily have the what we're saving locked in.
That's true.
So if it rolls when I hit the scan button, or at least generates the possible list when I hit the scan button, then that would allow such to happen.
I'd not considered that, but that is an accurate assessment.
Wouldn't make any sense for them to generate the list at that point instead of when you actually finish the scan. But hey, unless they wanted to prevent save scumming. But like, who actually cares about save scumming? Seriously. The only developer that might actually care about save scumming allows it. And that's for access. No, you shouldn't be save scumming with your civilization. They allow it though. You can't stop it. So, I am coming back. I have the last turbo motors. All is well.
Nice.
It's just going to take me a while riding the power lines to get back. Wah! Flying off the edge there because that corner was too sharp. It's here. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. The train! I'm on the train. It was there when I arrived and I didn't miss it. Unlike every train in Tokyo. I cannot tell you how many people I saw just running to get on the trains in Tokyo. Okay. I had to recenter myself. I was kind of lucky if we got there and the train was just arriving or was a couple minutes away. Because if it was already there, chances are you weren't getting on it. It's there for all of 20 seconds and then it's gone. Alright, so now it is time. Select milestone, particle enrichment. Turbo motors. Launch!
Milestone reached. Project part number 9, nuclear pasta, can be created in the particle accelerator. The accelerator has vast and fluctuating power demands, depending on the recipe, so will need careful integration with your factory. FicSit does not waste, so nuclear waste can be refined by the particle accelerator into plutonium for reuse in the nuclear power plant. Fun fact: FicSit psychologists suggest factory designs reflect the minds of their creators in unexpected ways. On an unrelated note, your infrastructural choices have been interesting.
On an unrelated note, Ada. That AI, I swear. Right. Deposits over here. There we go. All those leaves are now properly being put in here. Oh, this is not turned on? Or not able to press? Ah, because we're full on biomass. Full solid biofuel as well. I'm just gonna steal some of this biofuel. Take it right over here to the awesome sink and drop it in. Because we're not even able to process our wood or leaves because there's too much solid biofuel in the system. Okay. So what you up to?
I am setting up additional power plants.
Must construct additional pylons.
Yes, must construct all the power lines.
Okay, we've got recycled plastic and pure iron ingot. It keeps offering us a pure iron ingot.
Hmm.
Oh dear. Well, we advanced technology, and so it's given us new things. In addition to
That it
electrode
has.
aluminum scrap, it's also giving us an alternate for fertile uranium.
Nice.
5 uranium waste, 3 nitric acid, and 3 sulfuric acid make 20 non-fissile uranium. So, what does that mean?
Good things, I would think.
I don't know. Non-fissile uranium, it cannot be used for nuclear fusion, but it can be converted into fissile plutonium particle accelerator. So, it's something we put in the particle accelerator to create plutonium, which we can then use in the power plant.
Correct.
But, the normal recipe is 15 uranium waste. Only uranium waste. Plus 10 silica and 6 of each of those things rather than 5 and 3. The nitric acid and sulfuric acid. to make the same amount of non-fissile uranium and a little less water.
Right.
The thing is, it doesn't use the fresh uranium used to produce encased uranium cells for uranium fuel rods. So this uses up more of our waste. The basic recipe uses up more waste. This requires some fresh uranium, so uses up less waste, but goes through it at twice the rate. The question is, how fast can we put it through the particle accelerators to make it into something we can actually use? I don't have any rescans left, so it's going to stay there one way or another, but makes you think, though.
Indeed.
Alright, so we are done with getting the nitric acid, which is what I was trying to get this whole time. I finally have the thing I need. So I can go over here, disassemble this whole little miniature factory, because I don't need it. What? I'm gonna go over here to where the awesome sink is and drop in a whole bunch of crap I don't need. Most of the stuff that we are going to be mass producing, if we haven't been already. Rather, stuff we have mass produced before, even if it's not being produced right now. Because we're full. I've checked. I'd put it in the depot, but I can't. We're full. Okay, that's all done. Now I just need to make the nitric acid. Okay. So nitric acid requires an iron plate, nitrogen gas, and water. Huh. It requires iron plates. It's such a weird thing to require.
Nitric acid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nitric acid requires iron plates.
Well, that's not so odd, considering sulfuric acid, at least in other games, requires iron plates.
Well, got. I had two blenders set up here. I'm gonna have to set them back up. I'm gonna set 3 blenders up. So this is gonna be our main production for it.
Hey, check out our power graph.
Ooh! Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Yep. Fuel is still currently distributing through the pipelines to all the generators.
Did you add more batteries?
Yeah, one more bank.
Okay. Pipeline junction. Oh. My human saw something really funny recently. Do you remember, Chillet from Palworld? He saw somebody had made a Chillet cake.
Ooh.
So, it exists now. Someone has actually made a Chillet birthday cake. So I think Pokemon has officially lost the war at this point. when you have people start making birthday cakes out of the character, I think it's popular enough that you're never going to be able to get rid of it. Aware that what I'm doing is a sin against spaghetti. I don't particularly care if these pipelines cross, as long as they function. At least I'm making them nice right angles. And cleaning up all these supports from doing the turns. Besides, I think it looks kind of cool that they cross through each other. Alright. Making nitric acid. iron plates are required. I don't have iron plates being made anywhere. Do I put them on the bus now and then drag them over from the bus to here? Or do I just stock up a whole bunch of them for now? I'm going to go with option 2. I'm going to take an industrial storage container. I'm going to take as many iron plates as I can. And shove them in it. It's not going to be very many unless I clean my inventory out, though. Oh look, the memory research is complete. Hard drive. What does it give us? Instant plutonium cell and insulated cable. Oh. Oh.
Hmm.
Huh. Okay. So normally you take 100 non-fissile uranium and 25 uranium waste, turn it into 30 petroleum pellet or plutonium pellets. Plutonium pellets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you can take 2 plutonium pellets and turn it into an encased plutonium cell with some concrete. So that would be 15 plutonium cells out of the out of that material. What instant plutonium cell does is it skips all of that and just takes 150 non-fissile uranium and 20 aluminum casings and turns it into 20 encased plutonium cells at twice the speed per minute.
That's not bad.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I'm picking that. I'm gonna leave it. We don't need it right now because we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But I'm not gonna rescan the hard drive unless I absolutely have to, because that is a really good recipe. I have said it before, and I will say it again. I'm gonna make sure that on our single player world, if we ever go back to it, we get wet concrete from the man research before we get this far.
Yeah.
Because this is just kind of ridiculous.
Just a little.
The amount of like energy we're wasting on this is just insane. Just trying to get this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am gonna save the silica. I'm not putting that in the recycling. Put the silica in my big old chest here. Oh, why did I come all the way over here again? I need more iron plates. That's why I went over there to fill up my inventory with stuff. Where be our iron plate storage?
Near the hub. Should help with stability.
Aha. And you. Okay, so I'm gonna fill up the iron plates for the nitric acid, and hook them up and just start producing the stuff and storing it.
Yeah. Oh.
It only needs what? 10 per minute? It's not much.
Oops. You're not getting enough oil? What? You ought to be. Oh. I'm not draining.
Hmm?
Oh. Because I plugged it into the wrong pipe. That's why we're fucking running out.
We're running out of what?
Crude oil. one of the freight cars was not draining. Or not being unloaded, rather.
Let's see. Okay, so that's blending up the nitric acid nicely. So, Waffle, are you aware of a channel called Nerd Forge?
I think I've heard of it. I don't actively recall seeing it recently, but the name is familiar.
You probably should. I can recommend a couple of videos because
Message deleted by a moderator.
oh yeah, that was a little while ago.
Bit.
That was just some spammer.
Account suspended or deactivated. Ha! Poor guy. Poor gal. Don't know.
Probably got their account hacked, and that's what happens.
Yep. That's why I say poor person. Poor being. Yes, there we go.
Yes, poor bean. Or if you prefer, poor bean.
¿Por qué no los bean? Why not beans? There we go. Now we're getting full throughput on oil to all the machines.
But the reason I mention Nerdforge is partly because I know you like kind of you're a fan somewhat of the Nordic aesthetic. And I think they're actually from Norway. And so there's some of that in a lot of their stuff. They do a lot of really cool projects. And they also do some fun sponsored projects. In particular, I just watched an episode where they did a Genshin Impact car. For the first time, Martina does a car as art. She takes the car and she paints on it. Like properly. Like properly, it's professionally sealed after she's done it and everything. And she puts a trio of Genshin Impact girls on it and gives it to her brother, her little brother, as his first car.
Nice.
And it's pink. She's like, it's gonna be pink. It's gonna have cute anime girls on it, and I'm gonna prank my brother by giving it to him as his first car. It's like, yes, you have to drive this. It's flagrantly bright pink and purple, and has cute anime girls on it. You're gonna get so teased. Now, when we watched that, my human was like, look, if I got that as a gift, I would change all my pull plans on Genshin and I'd still be playing it. I would have C6'd all 3 of those girls. Pulled them 7 times. Saved all my pulls for them. Just because then I can be like, I have these 3 maxed out and I'm driving a car with them on it. So, next hard drive. Heat-fused frame or automated miner? Heat-fused frame. It's a fused modular frame. It requires 1 heavy modular frame, 50 aluminum ingots rather than 50 aluminum casings. And 8 nitric acid rather than 25 nitric gas, or nitrogen gas, but also requires 10 fuel. And it produces twice as fast. I don't know if that's worth it. Because it's using raw ingots instead of the thing that is made from the ingot. And it's using fuel, plain fuel, and we don't produce that really that much.
No. Yeah, it's not as useful.
No. So, recycled plastic and pure iron ingot are the two things that we get left with after that. Okay, well, that means we can always have to go for the pure iron ingot later.
Yep.
And not need to use the leached. But it does mean that we still did not get wet concrete.
Yep.
I'm starting to think it's just never going to give it to us. I'm starting to wonder how hard it would be to do a little save editing. So... that's right. The fluid buffers don't automatically connect to each other like the tanks in Dyson Sphere. Okay. So I have this sneaking down into the industrial fluid buffer so that I can have 2,400 cubic meters times 3 of nitric acid buffer. In case we run out of iron plates here in the industrial storage container. And I don't feel like automating it before we start really using this stuff. Because where I stopped was the dissolved silica, which requires the nitric acid. 2 nitric acid and 24 raw quartz. So the raw quartz is being pulled in over here at this train station, I believe. No, not this one, the one underneath. Right. Okay. So I'm going to take this pipeline and pull it underneath. Can I do that? Can I attach underneath it? Yes, I can. Okay, good.
Okay, so I have reconfigured the machines to actually consume the appropriate amount of fuel because I did bad math earlier. We now have 12.3 gigawatt capacity. And we are slightly overproducing fuel.
Doesn't sound like a bad thing.
It is not at all.
Man, I feel bad not keeping up with my video production. Okay, hold on a second. Why are we missing copper sheets? Oh, we're not producing copper sheets.
We should be.
We're not.
Did the production completely stop?
Yeah, because we moved the copper ingot production and everything.
Right.
So I'm out of copper sheeting for the clean iron, the clean pipelines.
Hmm.
If you have any copper sheets, could you maybe put them in the depot? Because I'm almost...
I do not have any copper sheets.
Okay, well... Damn it. We're gonna have to stop production on this and start production on the copper stuff. I wanted to get all the ingots done first, but we're gonna...
Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. 2, 4, 500 copper sheets.
Oh. That managed to get me through setting this production line up.
I don't have a power augmenter. Why do we have a weird number of production?
Uh-oh. Lag incoming.
Herc! There we go. I had missed 2 machines. 12,500. 12.5 gigawatts. Well, that is weird, just watching the compacted coal be an absolute blur. Alright, we seem to be doing... Uh-oh. Okay, now we're running out. I was gonna say we seem to be doing well for compacted coal, but we've, depleted our stockpile, so I need to head back out there and bump up the production to at least the 384 that we need.
What is going on? Why am I lagging so hard?
Not me. I didn't do it.
It seems to be over now, but... God, that's annoying. I even went ahead and killed Firefox just in case that was the problem.
Huh? Well, and some ads just started, so...
No,
maybe
that wasn't
was
it. No, it wasn't it. Because I'm not watching my own stream, and I don't see the ads anyway. Because I'm always subscribed to myself.
Interesting.
Yeah, it started like almost a minute before the ads did. So that's the problem. Silica, dissolved silica. Refinery. I need a refinery. And then I'm gonna need...
Oh, an ad for the Minecraft movie.
I need a refinery for this to make the dissolved silica, and I need a blender to use it. And where's the limestone I'm going to use for this? That's the reanimates. Yeah. There's a limestone right around here, right? Right over here. There's two claimed ones over here that I could redirect, and there's an unclaimed one. Considering these are currently off because they're full, how much are you going to miss this limestone or redirect it?
Probably not.
There's a 60 and a 120 here that are just sitting here. They're connected to the pseudo main bus.
Mm-hmm.
But I need this. Because there we go. Because I need some limestone. For the silica production, and this will be just enough, I think. I'm gonna put a conveyor belt floor hole here, and a lift floor here. Should be good. Okay. Production, refinery. I'm not sure how many of these I'm gonna need, actually. I want to make quartz purification. So this is gonna take 75 quartz per minute. Sorry, it's gonna create 75 quartz per minute. And 60 cubic meters of dissolved silica per minute. It's going to consume 120 raw quartz and 10 nitric acid. And the blender recipe that creates distilled silica is going to produce, it's going to consume 120 dissolved silica per minute, so I need 2 of these minimum. And a total of 100 limestone, 50 doubled. 200 per minute of water. It's going to produce 80 per minute of water. So, once it gets started, it's only going to require an extra 40 per minute total. And it's going to produce 270 silica per minute. I don't think I'm going to need more than 1 of these, am I? Do you think I should make 2, just in case?
Of which?
This, the dissolved silica recipe. 270 silica per minute. You think that's a good enough amount to put through?
270 per minute? Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I suppose it's not too much, though.
Because we could use it in the fine concrete, the silicon circuit board, the non-fissile uranium, the aluminum ingot. But even that, like the aluminum ingots, that's like 5.
You moved away from using the the silica for the ingots.
Why?
Because you didn't you? I thought
No.
you did.
Maybe we did, but I lost that recipe because I didn't save. But I only have 1 recipe. I only have 1 recipe for aluminum ingots. It's the aluminum scrap that I went from. I skipped steps to make instant scrap from bauxite directly.
Yeah.
I still need 5 silica per craft for the aluminum ingots.
Right.
And let's see, it's 5. It's 5 per. And this makes 300. Calculator. Making 300 scrap per minute. Divide that by 6 per. Oh wait, no. That's bad math. What's the actual use per minute on the aluminum scrap? 90. Okay. Divide that by 90 per minute. Consumption. I need 3.3 repeating machines. So 3 underclocked to consume all of my aluminum scrap. Sorry, 4 underclocked. And that means, so 3.3333 times 75 per minute of silica. Making aluminum ingots is going to consume almost 250 silica per minute. So yes, I'm going to need 2. That sucks. The fact that producing all of that aluminum requires so much silica. And it doesn't produce any as a byproduct. It produces some water. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. How much raw quartz are we producing? We're definitely doing more than 120 per minute. We're at least doing 240 per minute. Which is good because that's how much is going to be required for 2 machines. So I'll at least be able to do that. Diluted fuel and tempered deuterium ingot. What do you think? Rescan? Because we're not using fuel. Wet concrete!
Find a frickin' Lee!
Yeah!
Look how fast it produces and how much it requires, or how little it requires.
Oh my gosh! This is so good.
It doesn't produce as fast as the fine concrete, but it is way cheaper.
It doesn't matter. It's so much more efficient.
It is.
It actually produces faster than the fine concrete. It's 80 per minute versus 50.
Oh!
So it produces faster and it's better.
Did we get the fine concrete?
We did.
Okay.
We got the fine concrete just in case we never got the wet concrete.
Okay. Well, let's get the wet concrete then.
Okay, so it's not as efficient in pure limestone usage. But it doesn't use silica in order to make the concrete. It just uses water, which is free. Okay, so wet concrete, get. Now let's grab all of the other recipes that we've been on the fence about.
Yep.
So that's the one thing we wanted to make sure that we forced out by taking everything out of the pool. So, compacted steel ingot versus iron wire. Requires compacted coal and
Out of
iron
those
ore.
two, the compacted steel. We're not likely to use it, but neither of those are particularly amazing recipes at this point.
Okay.
We could just leave them sit there.
Nah, I want to clear this stuff out now.
Okay.
Cheap silica. Which I'm getting ready to produce 270 per minute.
Out of those two, the tempered copper ingot might be more useful. I don't know.
Yeah. Quick wire cable versus automated speed wiring.
We want the automated speed wiring.
We definitely do. Anything that makes the project parts better and faster is paramount. Leached copper ingot. I've already got copper set up. I don't really want to reset copper. But the classic battery, I think, might be a good idea. It produces faster.
Do you happen to have any extra rotors on you?
I have stators. I don't think I have rotors. No.
I need rotors to make more of these machines.
They're not being produced.
They're not being put into the... Oh, they require copper sheets, don't they?
No, they don't. The alternate copper rotors do. So yes, they do. because we changed it to copper rotors, and we're not making copper sheets.
Right, okay.
So that's why our rotor production has stopped.
I just need 8 to produce these last 2 machines.
There we go.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. So I'm gonna go for the classic battery.
Oh, yeah, that was one that we specifically wanted.
Yeah, because it makes 4 for the same materials, and it's just more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
More efficient, faster, more fun. None of this piping fluids in and solid stuff. It's all solid stuff. Siliconized high-speed connector. I know that was the one that we were going for. It does require silica, but it only requires. No. What was the benefit of this? I don't know if we can do this.
speed.
It just doesn't require cable.
Yeah.
It doesn't save us on the chips.
How many is it manufacturing per
2
per line? So
it's 2 for 2 and 1 for 1 on the chips.
okay, but it's using half as much quick wire.
Yeah, but quick wire isn't a problem.
Yeah, it's not. So
I'm actually thinking recycle rubber.
okay.
So we have that option. I'm finally taking a game. Keep trying to give me recycle rubber. Sloppy alumina? No, I don't think so.
Now that is really good for if you're already doing the liquid alumina builds.
Yeah, but we're not. Not anymore.
Exactly.
Got an iron canister. Copper alloy ingot. Iron and copper together. Or alternate iron pipe. Takes 20 iron to make 5 pipes instead of 3 steel, or 5 steel and 3 concrete. But it goes half as fast. The only benefit I see in this is it goes through a constructor, so we could sloop it very easily.
Yeah.
But that would just make it as efficient as the molded steel pipe. And we've got wet concrete.
And it's using iron instead of steel.
Yeah.
We're better off sticking with the molded steel pipe.
Yeah.
Because that's such a low-tier recipe that we don't need to sloop it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the iron, the copper alloy ingot in case we ever need that for some reason. Don't need the rubber concrete, we got wet concrete. We're gonna go for the OC supercomputer. Heck yeah. Did we decide on steel frame or fine black powder? Because I kind of wanted fine black powder.
Yeah, fine black powder is the better one because we've got higher options for the alternate frames now.
We do? Oh, we have alternates for the higher tiers. We don't have alternates for modular frames.
There are some on the list.
Oh, there are some.
That's what I was saying.
Right, you're right. We do have others on the list. Coated iron plate versus adhered iron plate. One makes more iron plates, one makes more reinforced iron plates. That production speed on the coated iron plate is bonkers.
Yeah, that's even better than the steel plates, I think, that were further down the line.
The steel cast plates?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is better.
Okay. By a fair margin, too.
It,
Nice.
it requires some plastic, but it's only one. 7.5 per minute? It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we got bolted iron plate, which makes reinforced iron plates much easier. Steel rotors are not as fast as the copper rotors. Don't require nearly as many screws, but screws are not an issue. So bolted iron plate.
Mm-hmm.
Basic iron or leached caterium. I'm gonna go with leached caterium because I haven't actually done the caterium production yet, so I can easily work this in. Cooling device requires nitrogen gas, motors, and heat sinks, or encased industrial pipe. Encased industrial pipe is slower, but uses industrial pipes uses steel pipes rather than the other one. Sorry, I can't think. Hi, Talrad. So, I think we're going for cooling device.
Oh,
No water required, and it's the same amount of... It's actually...
yeah.
No water required, less nitrogen required per, because it's this amount for 2. Same amount of heat sinks. Yeah, that's better. Caterium circuit board. This is one of the ones I was waiting for, because it uses quick wire and plastic to make 7 circuit boards. It might not be as fast as silicon circuit boards, but it doesn't require silicon. It does require plastic, but it also, I think this, between the two of them, will make enough circuit boards. We might end up using both. Quick wire stators, because we don't need to turn crude oil directly into polymer resin.
Yes.
Yeah. Pure aluminum ingot.
Nice.
Huh. Okay, well that changes my plans. Definitely getting that. Now I remember where the recipe for the aluminum ingot was that I was going to make. It's in here. Heat exchanger. That makes heat sinks with rubber and aluminum casing. Nah. I think making aluminum rods might be worth it. It's faster than steel rods. I don't know. The heat exchanger can make heat sinks faster. What do you think?
Could do.
I don't want to see us necessarily needing aluminum rods. We've got all-clad casing, which makes aluminum casing using copper and aluminum, which it makes it very quickly, almost twice as fast. I think that's probably the better option. Because we're not going to use pure quartz crystal. Not now. Radio connection unit? No.
Oh, the Caterium wire was the one we wanted?
Yeah, Caterium wire was the one we wanted. Turbo blended fuel? Or coated cable? Like, neither one of these are super great.
Coated cable out of those two.
Okay. It's just that it needs heavy oil residue. I feel like that would be so complicated to put in there. But it is the only alternate cable we've got so far. Yeah. Crystal computer. Because steel cast plate is really not that great. Caterium computer is probably what we're going to end up using, but this is no good alternative to have on hand in case we need it. Bolted frame. That's the one that you were waiting for.
Yeah.
The heavy encased frame we're not going to go for. We're going to go for the bolted frame. Because that's far faster to produce. And we're going for fertile uranium.
Yep.
Even though I don't think that one's that great. The other one's useless. Instant plutonium cell, definitely. As much as I'd love to do insulated cable, this is going to be really important later on, I think. We'll grab the pure iron ingot. And the latest hard drive we scanned has quick wire cable and cheap silica. Out of the two, I think quick wire cable for sure.
Yeah.
Quick wire cable is a way better recipe than even the other alternate that I picked up. Because even though this is slower, its materials are so cheap. So easy to get. Or I could rescan. This is like significantly slower than the coated cable. The only reason
Go ahead, rescan.
Yeah. The only reason I was thinking about the quick wire cable is because the coated cable requires heavy oil residue, so we have to set that up near the oil production. And it's just kind of annoying. Let's rescan. Well, there's the heat fused frame again. Not that we're going to use that. Diluted packaged fuel. Why would...
Because that's a cheap way of making fuel. You notice it doesn't require fuel. It's straight from heavy oil into bottles and it's fuel.
Huh. You're right. You know, if we needed fuel, that would be an easy way to make it. Hold on a second. How do we normally get fuel? We have to make it directly or as residual. And that's
Pretty much,
60
yep.
per minute to 40 per minute. $60 to 40 versus 30 to 60, but that's really hard for me to calculate. How many cubic meters of fuel is in a packet of fuel? Because this is 30 per minute.
Mm-hmm.
And
1 to 1.
Yeah, it's 1 to 1. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So this actually makes... So this makes 1 into 2, whereas the other is 2 into 3. So it's more efficient. My only problem is that it puts it in packages, so you have to unpackage it.
Yep.
So if we need to do this for something like heat fused frame, we have to unpackage it. Yes, yes, Talrin, I know your phone arrived. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna have my human help with that when we get done. Loaded package fuel. Might as well get it. No sense in agonizing over it any longer. And I'm going to take a very short break because I need to figure out where the water is so I can hydrate.
Here, hydrate.
Because that was bad. Bad waffle.
Could be worse.
I'll be right back. And back. Just in time for another hard drive to scan. Oh, I see some nice stuff in this hard drive. So we got tempered Caterium ingot or alternate plutonium fuel unit.
Nice.
Holy! The megajoules on that! See how high energy value that is?
Yeah.
Man.
It's the reverse of 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah.
Alright, we are now producing as much compacted coal as we need.
Wait a second. That's 2.1 terajoules of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Terajoules.
Mm-hmm.
Ha 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 ha. And
So-
all it requires is a pressure conversion cube. And 30 encased plutonium cells, which are normally used to produce plutonium fuel rods. Instead, you just produce this.
Isn't nuclear waste wonderful?
Wait, this produces 4 times faster. And it's made in an assembler. You can sloop this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is an
Refuel.
insane, absolutely insane recipe.
The only real drawback of that is
Yeah.
that once you burn through the plutonium fuel, there's no reprocessing it further. You gotta deal with the waste.
But FicSit doesn't waste. Can't you just turn the waste back into energy?
Nope. It can only go so far.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's really weird that that stuff can still be like highly radioactive and give off so much energy still and not be usable.
Uh-huh.
Like, can't you just put it in something that needs to be really hot in order to create steam? And use all that energy to make it hot?
Yep.
Instead of putting it in, like, lead-lined stuff to keep the radiation in and that, like, I don't know. Maybe it's not the kind of radiation that produces heat. Maybe you just can't use it to produce heat.
Yep. That's probably the most likely.
Yeah. So, with our last hour or so, hour and 10 minutes, I'm gonna jump over here and take care of this aluminum, finally, without any need of limestone or concrete or any of that stuff, because we've got the purer way of making aluminum ingots now. Which I'm very happy about. Let's see. So this is going to take aluminum scrap. God, there's a lot. I'm making 600 per minute, actually. And we're going to turn that into... Oh, right, we just need smelters, right? I just need a ton of smelters. How many smelters are we gonna need? Something to figure out. Alternate pure aluminum ingot. Each one consumes 60 per minute, so we're gonna need 10 of these. Two, three, four. 10. Perfect. And logistics-wise, we can't handle, or we can handle, 780 resources per minute. Or I can just use Mark 4s and have each go into 5 of these. Mark 4 into here. Each of these is 60 per minute, I think. Yeah, so each of these only needs a Mark 1 going into it. And I need a Mark 3 coming here. Mark 3 coming here. And Mark 2 coming here. And Mark 1 coming to here. And Mark 4. And it's just not gonna look nice. Do the conveyor mergers there. And I'll meet in the middle. Looks like there's no nice middle. Huh. There's the middle. Found it.
There is a middle, but there is no spoon. Okay. Oh, come on. Trying to line up the industrial storage. It's not lining up with the right thing, apparently. Well, because I had it flipped around the wrong way. Now, hold on a second. Now, hold on a second. I had that lined up perfectly.
Ah, there. It's because I did tiny adjustment on this. It didn't automatically line it up properly. There we go. Alright. And lastly, final step is... Oops. Daisy chain everything together. There we go. Paste. Now all of them are producing. Awesome. We have a ton of aluminum ingots going. And I'm going to be using those in various processes, probably in this area. Okay, so this, I'm gonna need 4 of these. Logistics. That's going through. I'm gonna need 240. Actually, I don't want it going that way. I want it going the other way. Conveyor splitter. Okay. Actually, I don't know if I can support that. How much raw quartz are we pulling in? We need 480. Which means, one, I need to upgrade all this stuff to Mark IV. I don't know how much crystal we're pulling in. I don't know how accurate this is, but it says 70 and 138 items per minute. But because it's been full for so long, that it can't be accurate. Right?
Say again? You cut out.
It's 130 per minute for one and 70 for the other, but because those things have been full for so long, that's not an accurate reading of the throughput. Right?
For which ones?
The quartz crystal. Or the raw quartz. On the train. The train doesn't give an accurate estimate if it's been idle for, or not able to fill up for too long. Right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay.
By the way, I have boosted the sulfur throughput.
Good.
We now have a maximum of 600 per minute.
Okay, and is that all coming through the under the base to the end?
It's all coming through on the train.
Oh, okay.
But keep in mind, 400 of that is being used to create compacted coal, so we've actually only got 200 per minute throughput.
Huh.
For you to use.
Okay. Good to know. But weren't we gonna move off from using compacted coal?
We're using it for the turbo fuel.
Right.
And you need the turbo fuel to make, or you need compacted coal to make turbo fuel no matter what recipe you're using.
Right.
We were going to move to rocket fuel, which, again, still requires the turbo fuel, but it gives some compacted coal back.
Right. And we have the nitric acid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we
It's
might
just a
not
matter of setting
need...
it up.
We also might not need as much of the rocket fuel. Because turbo fuel is...
It consumes at about half the rate, so we only need half as much rocket fuel to fuel the same number of generators as we are currently fueling with the turbo fuel.
Yeah. And we've got more than enough power right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that sounds good.
Drink the coffee because it's tasty and caffeine.
And I actually don't have any with me right now.
No.
Yeah, I was lazy.
But why?
Just didn't feel like making any.
Oh.
Probably why I'm feeling kind of draggy right now.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, so I got the blenders here. That's gonna make still silica. Cannot wait to see the throughput of this stupid recipe. This is insane. Okay, so I'm gonna need water. Water from the water tower.
Water.
Water. I will never forget the day I learned that they call it water ice. Like, how do you... What? They're snow cones. I don't know where you people get water ice from. As long as you don't call it kakigori, because you're wrong. Because kakigori is a very, very different thing. Do you know what makes kakigori so much different? They actually have a special process for making the water. So it literally uses special water. Much like New York's famous pizza. It uses special water that goes through a process to make it... I think it makes it more aerated, so that when you shave it, it shaves in such a way that it turns into snow in your mouth. Like it's actually snow on the plate, and when you put it in your mouth, it just melts. It has silky texture that you just don't get from American snow cones. And my one pet peeve in all of Disney, all of Epcot, forget Interventions being gone, my pet peeve at Epcot is they don't do real kakigori at the Japan Pavilion. And that is not Disney's fault. Last time I went, I actually talked to somebody who knows a lot about how Epcot does things. And they said that a lot of countries actually have like originally Disney gave every country permission to run their area of Epcot how they wanted it run. They could have people assigned to run it a specific way and say, like, this is what we want to show off, this is the parts of our culture that we want to display, and this is how we want to display it, you know? There are I mean, they essentially leased they almost like leased parts of the park to those countries. And a lot of the countries, because of the amount of work it takes to run such things, just kind of stopped. Some of them delegated it to other to companies like Japan. Of course, they have a company, the government will create a company to manage it, because that's just how they are. But a lot of them have just kind of turned it back over to Disney. Japan has not. So, the complaints do not need to go to Epcot or to Disney. They need to go to whatever branch of the Japanese government it is that decides how their Epcot pavilion is handled, because that is like an affront to their own culture. I'm sorry, but you do not make snow cones as and call it kakigori and say that's good enough. You might say, Americans will never know the difference. You're correct. But what you can't say is, it doesn't matter. It absolutely matters. Just because foreigners don't know the difference does not mean it does not matter. Anybody who's ever gone to Japan will be disappointed.
Yep.
And any Japanese natives will also be disappointed. And that's not really the kind of experience I think should be getting given at a place that's like kind of a mini Japan inside of Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
It needs to be a better experience than that. Man, all that just from one regional pronunciation. Almost offended everybody and almost offended everybody there. One regional pronunciation of water, and that's how we get. A kitsune tangent. Okay. Gotten that pipe over here all nice and pretty. I'm gonna do the difficult but pretty looking way of doing this. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now it looks right. Now we got water coming in. I'm gonna have to put a valve here to restrict the flow. Restrict it to 40 per minute. Because this is going to produce 80. Go ahead and put a 90-degree bend there. Put a junction T here. That's not quite right. It moved. There. And then we want to turn there. And oh, come on. Up. We'll do grab that. Here. There. There. Now we want the pipeline pump. Push it this way. We'll hook that up. And lastly, oh. Junction T. We'll put it on the line. Eh? Okay. Oh, I see.
Hmm.
When I'm trying to do horizontal to vertical, it doesn't work. It does that weird thing. So, I think I know what I need to do, though.
Start from the other end.
Yep, that's what we need to do. There. And now, this should be producing... Hold on a second. Why isn't this taking in water? There's no water in this pipe. Why is there no water in this pipe? Huh? Huh. What is going on?
Hello? There we go.
How did this get disconnected? Oh dear. That's what happened. Wow. So the whole water tower got shut down. That sucks. But it's okay. I fixed it. Sheesh. I don't like seeing a red light there. What's wrong with this? Didn't have the recipe on it. Okay. Okay, I think it's actually working now. Yeah, this wasn't working before either. Basically, all of the water coming in from the big lake over there wasn't getting pumped up because it was going up a slope, and there was no head lift at all. Because somehow, someone, probably me somehow, took out the line going to this pump. And if this pump is off, there's no head lift to get it up here.
Oopsies.
And that means we can get up here and then go down to all this stuff. So... Okay, what game does this remind you of?
Yes, don't go.
No, seriously, what game does it remind you of? Because there's a couple of different answers, and I want to know which one you're going to come up with.
What, running along the pipes?
Or sliding along the pipes.
Like half of the old Star Wars platformers I used to play.
I mean, I was gonna say either Tony Hawk or Sonic Adventure 2. Because I mean, they did a lot of rail and pipe grinding in the games. Both of them, oddly enough.
Ah, good old pipe grinding.
Totally not dirty at all.
It depends on what the pipes were used for, doesn't it? So. There you are. A pair of boxes from dismantling stuff down here that were just hiding from me. Finally located and removed them.
Oops.
My inventory is full.
How do I want to do this? How should I do this? I'd like to do this elegantly, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh. Wow, I fell down.
Mm-hmm.
Two separate problems. These are two separate problems. Oops. Not that way. Okay. Now we're gonna do a conveyor merger. Top of each of these things. Except for the first one. Then we got 120. Uh-oh. That doesn't work.
Nope, that's why you gotta load them in from the sides.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So... point it outward. And then conveyor merger. No. Point it that way. So we got 120 coming in here. Plus 120. This is 240, so I need Mark III belt. And then we need at least a Mark IV belt. But this is going to be 120 times 4, which is 480. And Mark IV belt can handle how much? 480 exactly. Okay. Okay, I now have quartz crystals on the bus. I think that's the first thing this session I've put on the bus. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna make up for it now, though. I'm gonna put a pipeline junction here. And another pipeline junction here. Take a clean pipeline Mark 2 from here into here. Here into... I might need a T-junction here. Yeah. Wrong way.
But
In here. And then, of course, we're gonna make it look pretty. There. Now I have everything but the limestone coming in. Which I need 50 per minute per machine, and there's 2 machines, so I need a Mark II. Conveyor lift. Mark II belt. Yeah, I'll do it this way. Conveyor splitter. No, it's not gonna work. Needs to be further out. I should do that part first. To be up one more level. Okay. Actually, why don't I just do the left for that? Yeah. Let's do it this way. There we go. Okay, now this should actually finish. This should start working now. And start producing silica at a insane rate. Almost 600 a minute.
Nice. Hydrate, deplete.
Uh, 270 is a Mark III.
Ow.
Alright, how do you like that?
Nice.
Silicon production is going. Silica and quartz crystals being produced at a very quick pace. We have aluminum ingots being made, but they're not currently being put on the belt because I still have to do stuff with them. And put that on the belt because I don't think... Let me see. Aluminum ingots are used in a few recipes, 4 of which we haven't unlocked yet. All-clad aluminum sheets, aluminum casings, empty fluid tanks, and all-clad casings. So... Okay, so the all-clad casing is a better recipe all around. Unless you're going to sloop it, in which case the aluminum casing is better. Because you only spend 1 sloop.
Why has the steel stopped?
Uh-oh.
The steel is not getting any iron. Because the iron is not getting any iron.
Why is the iron not getting any iron?
The whole belt got shunted off towards somewhere else.
That'd be my fault. That probably is me moving the belt over to where I was doing the iron.
Yep.
Iron is in full production and is on the bus.
Okay.
So you can pull it over from the bus.
Well, the entire steel production line needs to be redone, honestly.
It does, but I haven't
It
gotten
needs
there
to be
yet.
done above ground. Yep.
I
Just
think...
be aware that until we do get it up and running, there is no steel production at all.
Yeah.
So what we've got in storage is it.
I wonder if I
So,
should make an
it's on
offshoot
here.
here. I think I will. I think I'm gonna make an offshoot for the copper ingots here, and have some go over this way so I can make, because the only two things I can make with aluminum ingots are all-clad aluminum sheets and aluminum casings. All-clad aluminum sheets require both copper and aluminum, and all-clad casing recipe also requires copper and aluminum. So instead of making the aluminum casings just from aluminum, I'll use the more efficient recipe, make it all-clad, and put it in the same place I'm going to be making the all-clad aluminum sheets anyway.
Okay.
And so that just requires me to split off from the thing that goes to the main bus here, boring it down across these things to where we're making the aluminum, because this is where we're producing the aluminum. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. This requires an assembler. This requires an assembler. Both of these are assembler recipes. Okay.
Hey, do we have a hard drive? We do.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot to go back and do
Huh.
that.
Alternate iron pipe, or charcoal, or rescan.
Rescan.
Alternate steeled frame, or sloppy alumina.
Steel frame. We don't need
Steeled
sloppy
frame
aluminum.
is...
We don't need sloppy aluminum.
No. Steeled frame is for the modular frame, and it produces at 3 per minute with a higher efficiency rating for reinforced iron plates, but it uses steel pipe. I think we're better off using the bolted frame that we already have.
Yeah, we are. So, pick whichever one you want. I don't mind if you pick the sloppy aluminum. I'm just probably not going to use that either. But who knows? We might.
240 per minute. So, oh, that's why. So the normal alumina solution is 12 bauxite to 12 alumina, and puts out silica as a byproduct.
Uh-huh.
This is... It produces at 120 a minute. This is 10 bauxite to 12 alumina and only 10 water at 240 per minute.
Oh, but it's
Double the
twice as
speed.
fast.
Yeah. And it doesn't have the silica byproduct.
Okay.
That is actually really potent. So let's select that. And I don't have any hard drives. Did you put them back in the...
I put one in. I have two more.
It's not there. Oh, there it is. It's in my inventory. How did it get in my written inventory?
I don't know. I put one in the depot.
It's magic. Alright, scanning the next hard drive. And, out of curiosity, let's see. Aluminum scrap. So you've got the instant aluminum scrap, which produces 300 scrap per minute from a single machine. Let's see. 30 scrap from 15 bauxite, which is pretty good. Or... 6 scrap from 4 alumina. but at 360 per minute.
Alright, so we're making 300 aluminum ingots per minute. Let's enter on one of these and a few of the others.
Oh, okay, so yeah, the pure aluminum ingot is really good. And you got that. So that would be one blender feeding 10 smelters. Not bad. We were making the regular aluminum ingots, which is twice as fast. But less efficient. 3 to 2 instead of 2 to 1.
Yeah, 3 to 2 instead of 2 to 1, and it what required silica.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I went
Okay,
with this, because
so-
it doesn't require a second product. Do the conveyor splitter.
Okay, so 10 to 12 or 5 to 6. Five to 6. 10 to 12. Okay, so 12. 3 times. 6. 18. To 18 versus 15 to 30. 10 to 20. Okay, so the instant scrap is actually more efficient. It uses 10 bauxite to 20 aluminum scrap, whereas the recipe using sloppy aluminum to our usual aluminum scrap is only 10 to 18.
Okay.
Slightly slower, but slightly more efficient.
And you know how much that FicSit likes to waste things? Not at all.
Exactly.
Unless it's people. People are expendable.
Technically, there's a theory that we aren't even people.
Okay, so I'm going to take...
You can actually see the hard drive in there. Never noticed that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's off to the right, but there's a little hard drive behind the window.
Cool. wait a second. Actually, Mark 5. Because I need Mark 4 for this. No, Mark 3. Which I have. And then Mark 4. And each of these only requires... Oh! I'm one short. Okay. That's what was going on. All the way around. Okay.
2.5 minutes left. This will have to be the last hard drive of the night, I think.
I'm not quitting until I got this up and running. That's gonna take me probably 10 more minutes. So we got time for one more. And only one more. Of course, I'm also Tired Fox, so...
What? The cat has come to scream at me because I haven't given him enough love. Wow. This is potato. Rat.
Okay, and then I want... how many for this? 75 per minute, which is a Mark II. Oh, come on. I'm too close. You know what? I don't care if it overlaps. I'm just going to attach it right in there. This requires 10 per minute, which is just a Mark 1. I would have to move all of these machines out more to make it look pretty, and I don't really feel like doing that. It's not the prettiest of builds, but it's functional. Alright, so I need 10 times 5 per minute, so 50 per minute plus another 75, which is going to be 125, so I actually need a Mark III built. Conveyor splitter. Put it on.
Oh, hard drive's ready. What do we got today? Alternate radio connection unit or steel cast plate? Or rescan?
I think we already decided we weren't going to do a steel cast plate because it just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, the plastic coated one was better. And I think that's the one we got. Hover over it. Yeah, coated iron plate, we got that one already. And what was your thought on the radio connection unit? I think the alternate radio control system is better because it still requires a manufacturer either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I will rescan.
Steel rotors or pure quartz crystal. Pure quartz crystal is
Not useful.
52.5 per minute. Just water and quartz to make crystal.
52.5 per minute?
Yeah. Oh, we have the quartz purification using sulfuric acid. That's a bit better.
Yes.
The other one is steel rotor, 5 per minute, which is not nearly as fast as the copper rotor that we've already got. And it uses wire and steel pipe.
They're not really that great.
Yeah, they're both trash, but do you want to get either or just leave it sit?
I'll just leave it set. If they're both trash, then there's no reason to pick one.
I've got another hard drive in my inventory. How?
Because it keeps taking them out? Because it automatically removes them?
Oh! It didn't used to do that for the MAM.
It does it for the
only did
MAM
that
now.
For the hub.
It does it for the MAM now.
Nice.
I noticed that.
I mean, that's convenient. So we can just
Convenient
put them
as
all
fuck.
in the hub now. Depot.
Okay, so what was I doing? I was trying to remember how big a regular conveyor belt is. 60. So, because it's enough, I'm just going to do that. No, not that. Straight across, straight across, straight across, and there we go. Yeah. Let's change the chain. Conveyor
I'm just
merger.
really satisfied that the mega refineries over here have worked out as well as they have. We've got a constant influx of fuel.
$30, $60, $90, $120, $150.
Cats are getting angsty.
Well, we are almost done. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this doesn't work.
What?
Unless I do that. Okay.
There is a crate over here. I must pick it up.
There. And then... Aha! Stackable conveyor pole. Oh, come on. Right here. Put this over here. This over here. Now I'm thinking with stackables. That's not what I intended. Okay. Is everything going okay? Because it doesn't seem like it is. It's not hooking up. Son of a... They won't hook in.
Why not?
It's too close.
Which won't hook in?
The input in the back. Alright, so production.
Yeah, you need to put the machine down first, and then put the.
I did. The problem is they were too close. The thing's going down. Oh no, they were facing the wrong way the whole time. That's not the problem. They were facing the wrong way.
There you go.
Okay, well, I just picked them all up for nothing. That's fine. I'll put them back down. For the last time. Daisy chain shit together. I'm getting a little bit irate with it. Alright. paste, 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 and paste. Grab each of these belts.
Add.
Yep. Mark 3 goes in there. I think. Because this is... Yes. Mark 3 goes in there. Mark 2 goes in here. Mark 1 goes in each of these. There.
Oh, I see. Those weren't the same machines. Never mind.
No. No, this last one is a different machine. And this requires a Mark 3. This is going to produce... Well, it only requires Mark 2, actually.
Wow. Cat just sat on top of my computer and raised the coolant temperature by 2 degrees.
Dang.
So I hope you'll forgive me while my cat melts my computer.
Okay. So I think we're good. I've got these all going back to the main bus. I am satisfied. Well, except for the fact that they're not actually going all the way back. Would you mind helping me bring these all the way to the main room? Let's have the lower one go over here. And that one can go straight across. There we go.
You've been playing for 4 hours.
Yes. Okay, we are good. Let's look at that last hard drive and then we can end the stream.
I am zipping over as fast as my slow hovering ass can go.
Oh, that's because you're not using the zap line.
You know. Steel cast plate or iron pipe? Or restate?
What's with the music?
I turned the wind off. Aw.
Okay. Let me tell you what I heard. I heard 3 different songs going on at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason it glitched and was playing. I think it was 2 overlapping songs. So I was like, "What is this cacophony? You have 2 boom boxes on?"
Just one. It's just broken.
Well, good luck getting a copyright strike when you got 2 different musics playing over each other and sound like anything. Okay.
Steel cast plate or iron pipe?
Rescan.
Yerp. Basic iron ingot or steeled frame?
I don't think we liked the sealed frame. I'll go for the basic iron ingot just because I want to be contrary.
Oh my god. So, you know why they call it basic?
Why?
Because it's the opposite of the leached, which uses acid.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have to get that one just because it's the pun.
Yes. Alright, we have FuYu, who is doing Timberborn. So I'm gonna pass it over to FuYu. Thanks for coming, everybody. Keep an eye on the YouTube channel because they'll still be uploading episodes of the .hack playthrough. They're about to get really good. No spoilers, but they're gonna get good. And have a good night.
Bye-bye. And we're over.
Okay. All right. So